going to make a tier list for Predecessor, not Overprime. Big disclaimer, this is not Overprime, this is Predecessor. You'll see all the characters there that are not in the game because this is the original Paragon's character list, and obviously most of those are not in the game as of right now, so we are just making a tier list on the characters that exist currently. Again, this is Predecessor, not Overprime. So if you're looking for an Overprime tier list, this is not the place to be. Alright, so starting off, we're going to start with the carries. Of course, I will have both of these to chime in. Out of all three of us, I have the most experience on the carries, so obviously I will have my own opinion, but I'm open to hear others. I will kind of just slap them all in to make it kind of quick and clear and give you reasons as to why I think so. Starting off with Murdoch, I think he's viable. He's not that great, to be honest, compared to the other ADCs, which I'll just go ahead and slap in really quick. So starting from top to bottom, Drongo is the strongest carry in the game. He has movement with his ultimate, which will help create space. His silence is absolutely disgusting, right next to his rad rounds, which do a disgusting amount of damage. His boomerang slows, and his passive scales off crit. So basically everything about him and all the items that benefit him just make him super strong. You could pretty much destroy anybody, and it's really what really puts him up top is the silence. The silence is incredibly powerful. And that's pretty much it for Drongo, in my opinion. Anybody want to add anything? Any disagreements?
Yeah, no, he is pretty strong. It'll probably change as more characters get added, but right now there's really just nobody to kind of deal with him in a way. The biggest thing about Drongo, obviously the silence is pretty strong, but his auto attacks late game, along with his rad rounds, just do so much. If he purely only had those rad rounds, he'd still be strong. So the fact that he has that plus the movement, the silence, the armor strip,
Slow.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Murdoch
is just pretty meh right now.
Yeah, we'll circle back around to Murdoch. Working from the top down. Next one is going to be Sparrow. However, in the next best thing, which is basically like an AA plus tier, she does a disgusting amount of damage. Her early game is probably the best out of all three, in my opinion, because her attack speed, proc on her ability is like a ridiculously high amount on top of with her piercing arrow shot and her annoying hail of arrows on top of her ultimate that just does a disgusting amount of damage. So the only reason this isn't interchangeable, the reason she's not with Drongo is because Drongo adds utility, and he has movement, whereas Sparrow is just a full-on glass cannon. I do think that if you went against a Drongo and you were playing Sparrow, if he didn't hit you with the silence, there is a good chance that you could probably beat him 1v1. The only reason he's at top tier is because he's good for multiple scenarios, whereas, you know, as Sparrow, you can kind of be hung out to dry. There are plenty of times I've been dived as a Sparrow and really couldn't do much about it, whereas Drongo, I can ult away, create some space, slow with my boomerang, silence if like a crunch jumps on me, and just, you know, so that's just to give some give like the reasoning behind why I didn't put her in the same thing. She's still very good, a lot of damage, great early game, but she lacks the utility that Drongo has. So she is my A plus tier carry, or ADC rather.
I agree. You point, you click, you shoot. That's Sparrow.
Yeah. Once you hit level 6, anyone come next to you, you click the R button, bro. You just start holding down the left click, and then things will start dying in front of you.
Alright, and Murdoch, plain and simple, dude's weak. His traps are garbage. I wish they change it. I hope they change it. It's just straight garbage. It has such a high cooldown. It is so noticeable. Almost nobody runs into that thing. His stim that he gets is almost, like, it's only good for movement speed. The health that he gets is pretty negligible from it. Like, you won't even notice it, even though it auto procs when you're below like 30 or 40% health. It's not even that great. His early game damage, not that great. His ultimate is awesome, and, you know, to get those picks off. But again, he's viable. He's good. He's a carry. He's an ADC. He does damage late game, regardless. It just takes so much for him to get online, and you could pay him, but he is nowhere near as good as the other two. Like, I almost put him in weak. But this is for carries. Moving on to Mid lane, again, these are interchangeable. I know some people might play some weird stuff in other lanes, but this is like the traditional type stuff. So I played some mid lane.
Viable.
The only person
Viable.
I didn't play we'll get to, but of course other people will have their opinions here. I would probably agree. I think Gideon is viable. His rocks do damage, for sure, but there's a lot of it's easy to be bad at Gideon, I think, and anybody who's knowledgeable against Gideon players on the enemy team, they would almost make you seem like a thrower, because like your ultimate, people will be on the lookout for it and they'll pull you out of it, stun you out of it, uh, shoot you out of it. Um, so yeah, I'm okay with it being viable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no disagreements.
Yeah, Gideon, sure, he does a lot of
He's as
damage.
plain as they come.
Probably,
You know, if I tell you, draw me a mage, you draw Gideon. Like he's just standard.
yeah. And there's way too much CC in the game and a lot of damage from the carries. So even if carries get hit by Gideon's ult, they're just going to shoot him 3 times and he's just gone.
Word.
So yeah.
All right.
Need
Alright.
positioning on this guy. Need positioning.
True. You have to bait out.
Bellica.
You have to bait out a lot of stuns. You kind of have to like almost wait for stuns to get out of the way before you can go in. Unless you have a spell shield and they only have one stun, then there's a possibility. But all right, moving on. Bellica. Okay, this might be a little controversial to me. I think she's strong. I'm okay with putting her in the next best thing, but to be honest, like looking at all them, actually, you know what? I would probably put her at the next best thing.
Next best thing. Yeah.
So because I have somebody else in
I think
mind.
Bellica's trash.
I think Bellica, if you're good at the game, or if you're good at management in terms of wave management, and you know how to use your drone properly, you lose to nobody in mid lane. Even though she's in the next best thing, I think you lose to almost no mage. Like I'm talking Gideon, her, Faye, Howitzer, Gadget, all these people. If you play Bellica correctly, I think that there's no world that you lose. You only lose if you mismanage your drone and you miss your stuns. Other than that, you really have no excuse.
I think we should bring Gideon down one because I
But
think
again,
Gideon is
he
actually
isn't
better.
It
weak.
wouldn't make sense to put him in a weak tier when he's
Well,
not weak.
well, in the sheer amount of CC in the game currently, and in terms of getting hit in team fights, I think Gideon is that weak. Just
But you can
because
get
of that.
away without ulting. You can still kill people with
your
rocks.
still hit really
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, but that's your entirety of your team fight, though. Team fight starts you alt.
No,
what you
that
do.
is not
No.
necessarily
That-
what
that-
you
that's
do. That's
how
what
how
a
you
bad
make
Gideon
that-
does.
Yeah, that's what a bad Gideon would do. That's what
No,
You
no,
don't
no,
just
no,
see
no,
a
no,
lot of
no.
people
No,
and say,
obviously
yeah,
you
this
don't.
year I'm old.
Obviously you don't instantly alt. That's not what I'm saying. But in general, a team fight happens. You're going to look for an opportunity to alt. That's your primary goal, looking for an opportunity to alt. If you don't get to do it, yeah, you throw your little attacks and you
Yes,
keep away
and
from
that's
the
enough.
situation.
And that's enough.
That's
Compare.
enough,
You
'cause
haven't
rocks
even
hit like a truck.
like compared to, especially for the people I'm gonna put in like a lower tier. Like I don't even think it's even like they're even one tier away. Like like I don't think Gideon is close to somebody like Gadget. I think that's a mile difference. Like that's what I'm using weak. I mean like weak is in like it almost, not that it doesn't matter how good you are, but understand that it is an uphill climb. And then throwing is like it doesn't matter how good you are. You are probably gonna lose to somebody 10 times worse than you because your character is that bad. Moving on to Faye.
Wrong.
Yes.
As hell.
So after playing her yesterday, at first it was kind of rough because I was missing my E. But once you come online, you melt everybody. Like if you get a good team wipe off, or team ultimate off in a team fight and stuff like that, you melt absolutely everybody. I don't really have much to say about it. She's disgusting. Anybody out there who thinks she's not good, you're probably just bad. You're probably missing your E's, or even worse, you're probably missing ults and you know the whole kit, the whole
combo in it correctly.
the combo, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm totally okay with this. She's super strong, crazy damage.
I think Gadget is strong.
We're on Faye.
I thought we all just unanimously agreed she's busted. She's amazing. Just
Well, the next one's Howitzer anyway. So.
Yeah, so
Oh, I said Gadget. Yeah, no, I meant to say Howitzer. I think Howitzer is strong. My bad.
I think Howitzer is probably the next best thing. I would put him in the next best thing. I wouldn't say strong.
I want to give him a viable or next best thing, but I
You
can't
know what?
as much as I want to.
I was
His
I
his
was I
mobility
was
is just
I was
so.
literally gonna put him in weak. Like, to be honest.
No,
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
no.
So
No, no, no,
let me
no.
explain. Yeah, so there's nothing that needs to be explained here. He is at the very least the next best thing. His ultimate alone, I completely disrespected the value out of that garbage ass ability. That thing destroys your health bar. Howitzers are mad annoying if they know what they're doing. So at the very least, he's the next best thing. So we're just gonna fast forward and skip this part about me rambling over some nonsense because I have seen the light. The light's too bright. Nerf Howitzer.
Gadgets, just put her in the trash.
Just you're throwing. Honestly, you're throwing.
Yeah.
I would even go as far as to you're throwing. The only thing that I find annoying about Gadget is the fact that no idea why they gave her a shield, no idea why they gave her a root. That's the only thing I
Okay,
say about you.
okay,
Don't care about your damage, don't care about your slow, don't care about your ult and running through everything. Everything
okay.
else
No, you know
annoying,
what?
but you do
We,
nothing. You just
we can
do
put her. We can put her in because if you do have a team comp and you're playing Sweat
no.
Lord, if you're Sweat Lording and you have a gadget on your
Okay,
team and you pick the right
if you
people,
have a steal,
yeah, her
you can
utility is
completely
disgusting.
lock the team down, and you can get a full gadget ult and empty your kid out into that bubble while still ulted them and keep them in place.
I mean, she's
Sure,
essentially
but other than
I'm
that,
not
all
playing.
util,
I'm
no
not
damage.
playing. I'm not
nah,
playing the perfect
yeah,
scenario.
yeah,
That's
I
just
know. I'm
not.
just saying, but other
No,
than
I'm
that,
talking to
she's
hit.
just
I'm talking to Shaquille.
oh,
I'm not playing
She's
the
all
perfect
utility,
scenario.
no
Like,
fucking thing there.
it's
she's
not about all
nothing.
utility. Like, she literally just
She's
speed
basically all
boosts.
utility.
Well,
All
no, she's
utility.
really
What's her
not.
utility?
Like,
She
the
has two
slows,
slows.
the
She
slows.
has
Her
three
little
slows. She
But
has three
again,
three
slows. She
slows.
but
has
it.
a speed up, a shield.
What her ultimate and her
But
little
again,
thing
those
that
aren't.
spins down?
Those aren't
Yeah,
good
her
enough.
ulti to spin that thing down, and I think if you go through the electric
No,
Almost,
it's not a
almost,
trips
slow.
now.
It's a root.
Oh, okay,
A root.
okay. Oh, it's a
almost.
root. All right, well there you go.
Yeah, but nobody runs through
And
the
it
through
speeds
the
up your
gate.
teammates, right? And it also speeds up your teammates,
Yeah,
right?
but
Or
nobody
no?
uses
Yeah.
it next to ever.
Disappears immediately as soon as someone
Like
gets
I
hit by
said,
the
I think she's just a utility. She's very utility,
No, but
less on
she's
the
the
damage
main.
side.
She's not even. Her utility's not even good enough to make up for
Yeah,
it. She lacks in
listen,
both.
Bellicofe and Gideon, and then you have Gadget. Nah, bro, you're throwing, dude. Sorry.
Characters
Fine,
just
fine,
too
fine,
weak.
fine.
No
All right,
damage
she's
to
garbage.
back it up. There's no damage to back it up, bro.
Like, I tried her
She's
twice. There's just
annoying,
nothing. Like,
bro.
there's just no. Like, it's just even late game. Like, the ultimate just did no damage. Like, the mines did virtually no damage, which I can't say I'm mad about because those mines were annoying in other games. But, like, just she's just
garbage.
incredibly
She's
weak.
I
I
remember
hope.
when I was sitting in her ult. I was getting hit. I was like, "What's hitting me?" And I just walked out. I still had basically like more than half my HP while I was just sitting in her ult, bro. And I'm just like, "Was that a gadget ult?" Yeah, I was like, "Oh, I didn't notice it."
Yeah.
It was that irrelevant, bro.
Yeah, if anything, like, I hope they just buff her ult a little bit, the damage. I don't want the mines to go crazy because the mines are super spammable, super annoying. I don't want those to be a problem. So, but yeah, you're throwing if you pick her. All right, in the realm of, I'm not gonna start off with the jungle except when we get to maybe Rampage, and yeah. So whoever wants to start off with,
Crunch strong.
I'm
Chimera
on
strong,
Chimera.
strong. Even with all the CC in the game, doesn't matter. Dude is tanky. Dude does 18,000 damage. He just does whatever he wants to do. Chimera is Chimera from old days, and still Chimera now.
Yeah.
Dude is just a menace. You could move on to Rampage. Chimera is just Chimera.
Yeah.
Rampage viable.
Rampage. I do
Viable,
think he's
yeah.
viable. I wouldn't be mad if somebody thought he was the next best thing. Only if you're like popping, like I mean popping off,
No.
like popping off. Can you stop the, like? I mean, like, you have to be popping off. Like, you need to do everything perfectly, but that's an unrealistic world. You're not gonna always do everything perfectly. Like, clear in time to gank and get value out of those ganks, and have a super monopoly on gold and Fang Tooths on the map to where you start building up all this health regen to where you're just unkillable, virtually unkillable, especially with the AoE damage items in the game. It makes his ult a little bit more annoying to deal with because of his tremors and everything like that. So I think like he's strong for sure. Like not strong in this list sense, sorry. He's viable. So I wouldn't be mad at it. But it's, the jump, actually just the jump alone, he's not even the next best thing. I think he's viable. Like just the change of the jump alone, like the fact that you can't do the huge leap. And the rock is kind of weird. And granted, that's like, it is what it is. You don't want the rock being too easily aimed, but there's no real indicator. Granted, I could just have mine off. There might be indicators, and I just might not know how to or I might just not see it. But yeah, viable. Crunch. I think.
Move on.
He's strong.
I
Move
think.
on.
Move
We don't
on.
want people. We don't want people to know about him.
He,
Move
I
on.
don't want more crunches in my game. I'm sorry. Listen, he is
So,
so
right?
stupid early game. Like, he does a bunch of damage and he can tank. He does fall a little bit off late game, but late game it moves from more of him being damaged to just straight up just uppercut, uppercut, uppercut. It's just him just CCing you and there's nothing you can do. You try to run away, he's dashing behind you. There's no escaping that.
The problem with him too is that he can kite you so well because he can do his combo, end it with like a stun or a slow, and just back away. If you're a melee person, just back away a little bit. And you're chasing him. Fucking 4 seconds go by, he does it again, starts to back away.
yeah, and the item that he rushes
Still
first
trading that.
reduces cooldown and stuff like that on his abilities. So it just makes his combo more annoying. All right, on to Feng Mao.
He is as a jungler or as an offlane.
I guess that is true.
It's
I am more of a
interchangeable.
jungle.
How about we'll stop? We'll go. We'll.
I
I
think
still
next
think he's a
best thing.
viable
I think
solo. I
next
still think he's a
next best
viable
thing.
solo,
Yeah, I don't think
he's
There's a
better.
reason. There's a reason though. I'll make you guys go first.
I think he's a
I
better
haven't
jungler than
played
he's a
him,
solo
so-
laner because he's
Okay,
mainly.
I would play valuable, and I'm going to speak on jungle. And I did
Okay.
play him one time in offlane.
Mhm.
He moved from being a straight up burst assassin with a bunch of tank stats to just being an assassin with no tank stats. He is squishy. If you build him correctly for him to literally like teleport onto your squishy and blow them up and execute them, sure, he's doing that. But he's taking like 4 hits from the carry and he's going down. He's very squishy. He's not what he used to be in the in April in the test back then. He got really downgraded in his pure tank stats. And if you build him tanky, he doesn't do enough damage. He just doesn't do enough damage, and he just gets outboxed by any other jungler. Like he just doesn't do enough if you build him tanky. And yeah, he's just a viable pick. If you want to play him, I don't see why not. But
Kolari.
sorry, viable.
Or weak.
No, viable.
She's
think
viable,
he's
but
good.
she's weak.
I
She's
think
weak
he's
for
good.
most of you. She's weak for most of you.
Yeah.
But she's viable for those one tricks out there who just refuse to give up and land
To
every
do his
dagger.
alt, have any of you guys played him yet?
No.
Twice.
Okay, because his alt, you have to have a dagger first before you can alt to them, right?
That does not sound right. That does not sound right.
Okay,
I don't.
Well, how does his
you
alt
just-
work though?
Essentially, you click the button and you spin forward.
Oh, okay. So that is just a straight spin. Okay, I saw somebody do the dagger then alt, so I thought that was.
Get some damage off. Do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'd put him
Grux
in
is
weak
strong.
one, but yeah, Grux is strong.
No,
He-
Kalari does a
don't
bunch of
wanna
burst
talk about
damage.
Yeah, she does a lot of damage if
Grux
yeah,
is
I would
broken.
agree.
Grux is broken. He's gonna be nerfed next patch.
Honestly,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
honestly,
saying?
that's the first thing you said today. That's actually true. Grux is broken, dude.
Like,
Grux is broken.
Yeah,
crunch
he has
is
a-
annoying.
he
Crunch,
has a
crunch is
pull.
annoying.
Let me
right?
say this for the people at
Grux
home.
is
Let me say this for the people at home. Not only does he have bleed, he has a pull, a knock up, and a stun, which means that's the trifecta of
Doubles
get
as a
fucked.
steroid.
That's
Yeah.
that's a trifecta of get fucked. Congratulations. That's
No,
a
his alt
trifecta.
doesn't stun anymore. His alt doesn't stun anymore.
Huh?
You're embarrassing us. Don't say things.
I don't
If you're not
remember.
sure, I know you don't remember. Don't say those things.
Fair.
This man clacks his shit, dog, and I'm just standing
Yeah.
there like, well, here's my life. It was nice.
Everyone's gonna be like, yeah, don't listen to Shaquille when he talks about a tier list because he doesn't even know what the characters do.
The dude has 3 forms of CC, hard CC, not just like you get hard CC, bro. This man has 3 forms of it, dog. He's
They're
only
all
missing a
AoE.
silence.
And they're all AoE.
Yeah, he's disgusting.
Double
Yeah,
pins.
crunch is just annoying, but
Boys,
Grux is absolutely busted.
Word. I think he's kind of weak, to be honest.
He's throwing. I'm sorry.
I don't think he's throwing. I think he's kind of weak. He could be viable if you are popping off, but other than that, most of y'all are just weak as fuck.
No, but that's the
Stacks
thing.
take way
Even
too
if
long.
you're popping off,
Stacks too.
no.
They're
But
ridiculous.
even if you're popping off, right? You're just a glorified fucking meatbag, right? Like you can't do anything if your team is. You can't carry a game. You can't carry your lead. Like there's nothing.
If
you
you're
can do
landing your
if you're in the
roots
hit.
and you got some nasty ults, then sure. But again, that's not majority of people, so weak.
His stacks, they reduce his stacks so much. They used to go up to like 250. If I remember, my memory might be wrong. but now it goes up to like what 90, 100 ish, maybe even less. It's like a little, like you barely gain anything from it nowadays. So yeah,
All right.
steel is
Steel.
strong.
So, no. Next best
it's
thing.
strong.
Next best thing.
I think it's strong.
There's only one strong support in the game right now, and we know who it is. Steel is the next best thing.
Listen, bro, I literally almost won the 1v1 against a crunch in
But
off lane.
to be
At
honest,
late
bro,
game, bro.
to be honest though, I would probably agree with Strong. Like, cause after playing
What is
ADC,
so
I was
strong
fed.
about him?
Hold on, I was fed as Drongo, dog. I was like 15-3, and I could not for the life of me kill this man. And it's
Nope.
not even like killing him either. It's he would stun me over
Mhm.
and over
Mhm.
and over.
Mhm.
And even if I
Mhm.
tried to shoot him and my silence wore out, he would just put a shield down, and then my basics are
Block.
blocked.
Bluff.
And then he would just dash at me when I would try and run
Dash.
away, and then ult me and
Then
knock me
stun.
up and stun me
Yeah.
again.
Stun,
Like
ult
this
you.
dude is a
That's it.
CC bot. Like
Fully.
it's just
Fully,
a
dude.
CC bot.
But
Dude,
he's
it's
definitely
definitely
killable, right? But that's the
No.
thing.
He is.
His
I can kill a
RPG is
crunch. I can kill a crunch more reliably as a carry than I could kill a steal. Guaranteed.
Steel is
Guaranteed.
building full.
But that's just his killing.
There's also
potential,
an
right?
item
What
in the
about
game.
No, but
that
you
makes
told
his
me.
abilities. Hold on, there's another item in the game which I run every time I play Steel that makes it have a big AoE effect on your next ability based on your maximum HP. And everything in this game gives maximum HP. I was rocking like 5k health. And when I stunned any squishy, half of their health is just gone. Like I could do whatever I wanted on Steel. It doesn't matter. No matter what situation, whether I'm behind, whether it's mid game, early game,
You know-
late game, your mom's game, your house,
Yeah, true.
Steel is working. There's nothing bad about it.
Especially since they gave the game Flash, like it just made him that much more of a nuisance because he doesn't have to force his dash or his ultimate to get to you. He could just flash at you for free, stun you in place, and then you can flash away, and he could choose whether to dash or ult you, and then he's just gonna stun you again because the cooldown's gonna be gone. Like the dude's a problem. Like his whole job is just to make your damage dealers' life's miserable. Like that's
Straight up
literally it.
noodles, bro. Straight up pinatas, bro. Just
Like
jump on them.
support, jungle, offlane, doesn't matter.
Off
This
lane,
guy
Wild
is
as hell,
annoying.
bro.
All right, Muriel. I haven't seen a lot of Muriel, and
Ah,
that probably speaks
she
wonders.
is-
I feel like
She's weak.
she's weak as fuck. I don't see anybody play her. And to be honest, she was never, not that she was never the better supports even in Paragon, but like she even struggled to be better than most supports in Paragon anyway. So like, especially
One
now
thing
she feels
going
weak.
for her, right? The fact that she has a knock up on her ultimate, right? That's pretty much the only thing going for her.
Yeah,
Well,
but
'cause
that
there's another
ult's like
item.
super high cooldown, and so like
So
you know.
she.
Because there's an item in the game that makes you do 50% extra damage on everything you do to shield. So you just melt through the shields, even if Muriel tries to shield her, carry or whatnot. Doesn't
Yeah, and
matter.
if you can't aim, like that's an extra lull to you because like her, I don't think it's alacrity. I think alacrity is the speed boost, whatever the ability is called, that she shoots the thing at you and it hits you for
Yeah.
a respectable amount of damage for a support. If you're missing, you're extra useless. Like it's just, yeah, no, I just
Yeah,
don't
well-
see her being that good. And she's squishy on top of that. Like it's just, nah.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's
Alright,
weak.
Next best
Daddy.
thing, Richter. Oh, you think
I'm
it's
kidding.
strong?
I'm kidding. I'm
No.
kidding.
I
I'm
was
kidding.
gonna
I'm
say
kidding.
next. Oh, yeah,
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Richter's Richter. I love this.
Now he's
character.
strong if you land every pull. If you land
Oh,
every
yeah.
pull, you're a god, and there's no reason
Yeah,
as to why
but-
you lose the game. Like literally none. He's the only character in the game that has like a chain thing. Granted, there's Grux that can pull you in, but like the only other person in the game that has like that pull type interaction that'll just yank your teammate out of nowhere. This guy right here. And on top of that, having the silence and his ultimate, that's all just gonna keep you right
Silence
there.
got increased in this game, right? Like I feel like it lasts years in this game
Yeah.
when he slaps you with the silence.
Yeah, the silences are pretty disgusting. It does feel like it lasts a long time. But if he yanks you in a team fight and his team is next to him, you know, just pray to Jesus at that point. Actually, don't even bother. You'll meet him in a minute because you're dead.
He's also really respectable.
Yeah, the only thing that's keeping him from being strong for me is that he's, in my opinion, the way his build path works, like you can't be selfish with him, and that's for balancing purposes. I think it's a smart idea not to do that because his whole passive works off of max health, so it keeps you typically from building damage items. So you can't be doing ungodly amounts of damage and also have a lot of health with your passive working along with it. Which, by the way, if anybody doesn't know, his passive gives him a shield based on his max health. So while out of combat, it'll charge up out of combat. So
is correct. Sure.
yeah, dope. All right, Narbash, which I also haven't seen too much of. I think he's just viable.
Throwing. I think he's throwing. He's throwing. He's absolutely rubbish. I'm sorry. He's on gadgets level. 100%. I will not shift from this. So he's
Wild.
right now he just stands there. He just stands there beating his drum, and Drongo looks at him, and he looks at Drongo. Drongo looks back at him. He's just beating. He's like, "Yo, let the alt go off." Drongo's like, "No, buddy, I can't." Fucking kills him. He's dead. All right. He starts to do it again, bro. Looking at Steel. Steel looks at him. Steel is just like, "Stop." He's done.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the weak tier here, because I don't think he's throwing, but we'll look at the weak tier. And would we put him side by side with Miro?
Severog and Muriel? Yes, I would probably do that. No one picks
No.
Narbash.
So
his ult is way too stoppable. His dunk is a skill shot like Richter, but Richter's
I don't
other
think-
abilities.
I
So
don't
you know
think
what
you
it
guys
is?
are understanding. Narbash is bad right now.
Again,
He's throwing.
I don't think if
I
you're
don't
landing
think-
thonks, you're probably fine anyway. Like
I
as
would
long as
put
you
a
land
whole
thonks.
Low shot
Why
and
not
knock up.
pick Deco? But why not
Use
pick
health
Deco?
regen.
But why not pick Deco?
Well, Decker's gonna be
Because
better
Decker's
than
gonna
him.
be strong. Yeah, he's way
Decker's gonna
strong.
be better than him. Like that's the point.
I
He's
haven't
weak
even reached Decker. What are you talking about?
Why
He's
not?
not even in the loop.
Why not pick Steel for his ultimate over Narbash?
because Steel is in strong.
Well, there's a reason why
like-
he's in weak and not in viable or next best still, because he's nowhere near Steel.
Why not? He's just so bad. Like just don't pick him. Like it's just
Literally
like that.
literally below Muriel right
again-
now. I'm
The thing is, it's not only that other people have things better, but everything he does is he does it in such a bad way. Like Decker's stun goes infinitely.
talking about Decker.
Again,
Chronicles.
Shaquille, you are comparing him. We already said he's weak. You're
have
comparing
to.
him to the best people. No, it's not saying we have to. We are. That's why he's weak. That's why he's weak. You are comparing him to the strong people, and we're like, we already know he's not as good as them.
Why is Gadget a throwaway? Why is Gadget a throwaway?
Because she has nothing of value.
you
Literally
should
nothing
just
of value.
Weak it is.
Decker.
Strong.
Um,
Too strong.
yeah,
Cooldown
she's
needs to be touched.
she's early game. She's tolerable. Mid to late, not so much because the cooldowns
I-
become less.
I hate the fact that their Cage isn't their ultimates anymore. I hate it so much.
Like I
Every
almost
time
never.
Cage.
I almost never get hit with the ultimate. Granted, that's obviously a them problem because they miss it. But the cage itself is so jarring, like when it pops up out of nowhere, on top of getting stunned in that laser beam that sometimes doesn't do damage but feels like it does. Because when I get hit by it, I feel like in my mind I think I'm playing like League and I feel like my whole health bar is gone, but realistically it did like 200 damage or 300. And yeah, but her setup is just unreal. Like just unreal.
Decker is just running through you.
Her late game cooldowns are disgusting. There's no two ways about that.
Decker can disengage your team and
Then her ult is disgusting, bro.
doesn't-
Because
Yeah,
you
but
gotta
people
think
miss it.
about her. Yeah, but you have to think
I'm
about
not
her
saying
ult
it's bad.
though.
I'm not.
Like,
I never said it was bad. I said that
I
people
know,
are
but
just
it's not
missing
that.
it.
It's actually not that hard to hit, to be honest.
That's fine, but
That
I'm saying
doesn't
people are
just
missing.
knuckle against it. Yeah, people are missing it.
Oh, okay. Well, shit, bro.
Decker, I
don't
hate
know.
Decker.
It's a
I think
stun.
she's one of my most hated characters next to Crunch, bro. I hate Decker.
Because she has two stuns. She essentially has two stuns, a cage.
Two
Fucking,
stuns, a cage, a slow, bro. I'm just like, yo, what is this champion, bro?
I jump away, bro. Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yes! Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
the
a
double
good
jump.
Decker. I get bamboozled so hard because I keep forgetting she has this double jump and I miss my stun, I miss my root, I miss everything. She's just gone. I'm just like, "Oh, I guess so. Cage
That-
walks
that-
away.
cooldown. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
The jump is on like a
man.
25-second cooldown at level 1, and then later in the game, obviously, it maybe goes down to 15 seconds, but that's still huge for a late game cooldown. But yeah, her cooldowns need to be touched.
Yeah.
That's just crazy, bro.
All right, so this is our tier list. This will change, obviously. This is just first impressions. You know, we haven't done every build in the game. You know, there might be a
Don't
sleeper.
tell him that.
There might be a sleep. What do you mean transparency? So like, you know, there
Honestly,
might be
oh,
some.
so
There might be
oops,
some. There might.
Your white sauce.
There might be some sleeper picks in here. Nobody will convince me Gadget is good. That's the only line I draw. None of you will do it. I don't care what anybody says. That character is straight trash. And yeah, I hope she stays trash, to be quite honest, because a good Gadget is annoying. So yeah,
I'm actually glad he's trash.
we'll make another tier list in like
Narbash.
we'll make another tier list in like 2 weeks, and we'll see if anything changes.